Another scenario. Stinging the bear. Stinging the bear, December 22nd, 1939. Stalin's attack on Finland was supposed to be a walkover. With 800,000 men, 1,500 tanks and 1,000 aircraft against the small Finnish army, the outcome was never in doubt. Yet the Finnish managed to humiliate the Red Army for almost 2 months. The scenario focuses on the action performed by the 163rd Finnish Division against the Russian 44th Mechanized Division. The Finns struck the Russians at dawn from 3 directions. In classic Finnish style, the Russian bear would be stung again. Shit. So, what's the situation? It's, I guess it's a sort of a Rate Road scenario. What it is, well, yeah, very. Most of the map is just wasted. What usually happened is huge Russian or Soviet columns would move into the row on the roads, but since the I guess it's sort of hard to maybe visualize, but a lot of the roads that connect that the attacks came through are basically from both sides of the road. There's unpenetrable woods basically. Uh, in case you didn't know, there's a lot of especially forest is a big business in Finland. So instead, you do have a lot of forest here, but you also have tree farms. They're not quite the same, but it's you if you've seen the difference, you know when you're walking in a forest and when you're walking in a tree farm. A tree farm basically it's naturally it's forest, but all the trees are more or less the same age, the same height, so it's a very different feel of forest. But anyway, the road would be on both sides protected by a pretty much unpenetrable forest as far as vehicles is concerned. So you have to move very on a road. So a tactic used could be that you basically destroy a few lead vehicles, and basically strike at few points to prevent the enemy column from just continuing forward, and you break it in parts, so they sort of get surrounded by from all sides in groups. So you can have a fairly few amounts of troops, keep some of them occupied, basically without being able to retreat or move forward because there's vehicles blocking the way. And then you can sort of focus your surrounding troops on a single group of enemies at a time, destroy it, then move on to the next. And that way you can destroy a much better equipped and superior force. The problem with here is I don't tanks are a problem. I'm guessing Russians in general will have a superior armored force. Their infantry shouldn't be all that great. The biggest problem with Russians or Soviet Union at this point will probably be morale. If I don't recall my history entirely incorrectly, there was a purge of officers. So before, because of the communists, so what they basically had was a big army, but not a competent or experienced officer corps to that. I guess that sort of developed in the when the World War II dragged on. So a new generation of officers rose through that experience. But it's very easy to break these morale because they don't have any experience. All that or experienced leaders are very hard to get with them at the moment. So it's easier to break their morale and fight that way. I'm seeing a lot of machine guns, few mortars, but basically all the worthwhile tanks are in this group. The groups here are not all great. What do we have? We shouldn't have. We might have a sort of a satchel charge to use against tanks. Yeah, but everything else it won't do. And how many do we have? We have 2 per infantry group. Tanks we should have inferior tanks. Yeah, these are sleds, not tanks. They just look like tanks. So basically we have infantry. We have an anti-tank rifle with 7 shots. I have no idea if that's any good. I doubt it is. So what we're gonna do is basically slaughter as much infantry as we can, then we'll try to suppress the tanks and take them out. But we need to clear out the infantry first. Sled would be more of a movement thing. Easy way to move equipment in the snow. This should be more or less a wilderness. It's trying to move without skis of some sort. It's almost impossible there. Very slow at least. So ski troops. We have few anti-tank rifles here at the back, probably because the game wants you to basically save them until the infantry is cleared out. Let's see what we can do. HQ units, nicely separated. We're not going to bring this to the fight. Yeah, they don't even have satchel charges. They're just going to be staying here. So, killing begin. You can see 2 targets. Don't have to worry about that. Yeah. Kill the Soviet infantry squads. We should have okay. Yeah, we have submachine guns, so we should be very deadly against infantry at this range. I want to save a few shots. I want reaction fire. Shit. We need kills on them. They aren't terrible units if they can. Their morale holds their capable infantry on the Soviet side too. Yeah, now they're. I still like to fire more. Hmm. I don't want to stay here being shot at. I want 3 shots on the infantry, saved for reaction fire. We're gonna hold our position for the moment. We do have to attack, but not yet. Kill the cavalry. They're too close to be able. It's a windy place to be in. Save the shots. Surely you can get some kills. Thank you. Yeah, they have a huge amount of infantry. Yeah, we'll smoke it. At longer ranges, their infantry actually has the advantage because they have rifles. It's not a simple job. Someone's going to have to take this fire anyway, though. Yeah, we're pretty badly suppressed now. We're not gonna attack the tanks. Yep, a little bit of fire on coming our way. But again, someone has to take it. I have to be able to cause casualties on more infantry groups. The problem here is that they're at an awkward distance. They're beyond our preferred range, I guess. Yeah, we can't shoot them with our submachine guns really. We have the lighter machine guns that can fire that distance, but the better at killing things cannot. I was definitely hoping to get more damage done on the infantry. This is pretty bad. We're gonna be in deep trouble if this continues. I'm hoping that actually Use a smoke grenade. Yeah. Incoming pain. What's the distance? 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. We'd like about 50% casualties on each squad if we can help it. Yeah, we're not really hitting anymore. Too much suppression, I suppose. Yeah, these guys are fairly well positioned. I will fire on them too, but hopefully with machine guns. Heavier machine guns. They're so far away that we don't have much hitting power that far away no matter what we try. I'm hoping basically that they'll waste their ammunition of firing at us when those guys get their turn. Yeah. Over 50% casualties. Nice shot. Very good shot, in fact. Oh yeah, this squad suffered quite a bit. I don't think they'll be able to do much now. Um, oh shit. E4, we'll leave that for later. What's the range on the anti-tank rifle? 10. Again, we'll use the anti-tank guys the last. They're very vulnerable against infantry, so let's see. Anyone who's positioned gets to suck on this. Shit. Yeah, it's useless now. Crap, crap, crap. I'd rather shoot with the infantry first. We're using at H1 now. They can better take 1 or 2 man casualties. Ah, shit. I want them switching targets. I think if you shoot at the same target constantly, your accuracy will improve with each shot. Okay, we were H1. Casualties on infantry. Shit. And of course, it got a immediate kill, so it's another useless machine gun. Very bad luck on that. These are the guys we've been relying on to get the long range kills on the Soviets. Yeah, that's better. Now, at least there's a little bit of bloody nose with those squads. We'll want 50% casualties or more on as many squads as we can. Just save these for suppression fire on the tanks too. I feel it's worth trying to get the infantry now. Because whoever gets the upper hand at the start is probably going to win this. There's not that big of a difference in our chances. We also need to maintain some groups at good working order. Because we do have to make assaults on those tanks. Um, no, looking good, looking good. The infantry in this group is fairly well devastated. Here, not much has happened. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. They have machine gun squads too, so and they're all in full operational condition at this point, so our own squad's pretty much useless at the moment. Would this be a better start? Good shots. So many casualties on the first shot, they couldn't return fire anymore. It's gone. Over 50% casualties, and the truck is destroyed too. Sleds are not gonna do anything. Well, we could go in there and take damage, I suppose. I'm gonna hold position with a lot of the anti-tank infantry for the moment. Oh, wait. Yeah, going here is gonna be a tough one. A lot of the units here are still in good working condition. So if we just move in there, we're gonna get hit quite hard. We should save some shots. We're right next to enemy infantry, so if we use all our shots, they can just come next to us and have their way with us. Not exactly a thing we are looking forward to. Mm, we could fire a few shots. Wait. Yeah, not in a bad place. We're gonna get 3 shots. At least we're doing damage. Excellent. How many shots do we have? Still 9. Much better than I expected, in fact. It has no weapons, so we didn't destroy it, but we did our job. Now let's fire. Immobilized. Yeah, situation isn't terrible, but still gonna be a lot of fighting going on. Wait, what are you? Yeah, you're the group that fears to death enemy counter attack, so I think we got the enemy quite good. Yeah. A lot of their fighting strength is gone, and a lot of our strength is still in good condition. We managed to bloody even their tank smells a bit. Yikes. The tanks are gonna be a real problem. Not a lot we can do. What about these? We'll start moving the anti-tank troops a little bit closer. can bloody us a little bit, but I think the important thing was to take a lot of the enemy counter fire on units that were not close to them, so they suffered less damage. Units that had all full infantry groups, so that they didn't get the reaction fire on the anti-tank guns or the heavy machine guns, that leave them fairly open to just tear up the tanks and infantry. Can see anyone? Crowded, crowded, crowded. Massive casualties. We basically can now close up this portion entirely. Can't see anything. We'll have to start moving towards them. Too far away. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Hello there. Shit! Invisible infantry. It doesn't matter. We managed to stay in operation condition, so point blank attack on the enemy HQ. Very nice indeed. Okay, who do you see? We definitely want to get the enemy HQ. If we get that, that's probably makes the morale situation a lot more manageable for us. Capturing these flags will also get the tanks moving in our direction. I'm not sure how good or a bad thing that is. Not much reaction fire from them. We're not gonna be saving up shots this time. We're gonna burn them with everything we can. Yeah, the cavalry they have is in a pretty bad place now, so I don't think we have to worry about that anymore either. Can't see much. There's a couple infantry groups still in, I would say, that might be able to cause some trouble. Yeah, that's a tank with no weapons. We don't really have to worry about that. We'll try to save our shots a little bit. Yeah, we aren't hitting anything anymore. We're sort of in a bad position. They have a decent amount of units that are still operational. So we do need to continue to pile up those losses on them. A little bit of suppression. Hope something of that will stick. Can't see anything. It's a bit far away. Chances of hitting aren't great, but on the other hand, what the hell are we gonna shoot then? Might as well take the shot. Not good enough, but at least we got a shot. Yeah, it still has the main gun, but machine guns are not operational anymore, and the extra shot probably didn't help its morale any. So yeah, they're not going down without a fight. I think it's more of a testament to our crappy anti-tank weaponry than anything else. See if we can suppress the last functioning infantry. No, no, we could not. At least we scored a goddamn kill on it, yeah. That'll bring the morale down. Please kill something. Actually kill stuff instead of just wounding the group. More than 50% losses. The HQ must die. It surrendered. So now their morale should go. It should tank quite severely. The flags we control should mean that they'll start to push this way. Get some kills at least. Rifle squad destroyed. And the sleds. Yeah, motorized sleds clearly. No. I'm moving them here basically because I want the enemy to shoot at them if at all possible. They're totally worthless to me, as far as this fight is concerned at least. We do need to start moving and detank guys up at the front. Yeah, the fight is basically over. Few tanks can cause up quite a few casualties, but that's it. Want to push for massive casualties on their side. Too early for you to move. Someone else is better off taking the hits. There's at least 2 squads of infantry in that square. On the hex. First, the machine gun. We should have a the satchel charge has a very realistic chance of destroying that, and it's routed already. So satchel charge destruction. Try to spread the love to several infantry units. That routed or retreating? Retreating. We'll try to make an assault on it. It looks like some of them could start to gather up their courage. We'll have to be a bit careful. Yeah, this fire, I'm not too keen on saving our shots. I'll try to basically keep up the momentum. Have two positioned tanks. We'll have to move in there sometimes, and there's only 10 turns left, so I think we're better off starting to make our moves now while we still have a lot of time. Shoot at something. Anything? No? Yeah, we'll have to. Shit. The tank is trying to fire, but it doesn't really have. This one. It sort of tries to fire, but it's not really firing. It has the reaction a lot more times than it even potentially could have had shots. Okay. Yeah, let's try to see if we can get these guys to button up a little bit. I'm basically just trying to collapse their morale. I think it's fairly effective now that most of their army is pretty much shredded anyway. Still, we'll have to be careful. Yeah, it just isn't going down. I'm a bit worried about that since we don't have a huge amount of ammunition on these. We have maybe ammunition, yeah, it's out of ammunition. Ammunition for 3 full turns of firing. After that, it's spamming just firing everything we have on them to get them suppressed and allow infantry to move in close or have them abandon the tanks. There's no destroying the tanks after that. Not with anti-tank weaponry. Might as well shoot at the tank though here. Reason being, if we maintain the same target over a turn, I think that also increases your accuracy quite a bit. So, investment in the next turn. Maximum. Good shots. Why am I shooting at it? It's too far away, basically. 10 hexes is more or less the one a heavy machine gun can do reasonably. It has a higher range, but what you usually the good effective range starts at maybe the halfway point. We could move in button position. Yeah, we have to move in. The entire point is that if you attack from multiple directions, even if they can beat back one attack, you're gonna be losing the other ones. Provide me with a smoke screen, please. Yep. These bastards actually had ammunition still left. We get some kills. Yes. Let's see if we can get this buttoned up. It's the only tank remaining that is still positioned. It's still positioned. Shit. Now I'm going to take casualty from this, but basically hoping that what they have left is not enough to really make a difference. Yeah, move in, move in. Let's see if we can get this. Yes. It was basically an armored car anyway. Yep. So as long as it hits, he's dead. And I don't think they can recover from this kind of collapse anymore. Because now they don't just have wounded units running about, they're actually just losing them. That's much, much worse as far as morale is concerned. So, we're just going to keep pouring on the pressure. I'm not wasting anti-tank rounds on a truck. Anything will kill a truck. And that's it. So, now we're out in the open. Can he cause casualties on us? No, not really. Few shots of tank machine guns and that's it. So, it's now over for them. It was a tough position for them to start with because we already were surrounding them. So I think a best option here would have been as Soviet to just reposition your troops immediately. Try to get it so that you're not so vulnerable from all sides. Have a smoke screen on one side, for example, and just fight the other side in the meantime. Something like that. Okay. Rush in. Yeah, there's not going to be any fight at this point. The couple of tanks that can still offer up resistance just don't have the shots. And I'm hoping to just move in while the general morale of the enemy group is collapsed. So if we move in quickly and decisively, they won't have even a chance to recover. In general, I think with the Finnish sort of line of army units, yeah, you can't see it here, but you're basically screwed because you don't have anti-tank capability. With here, it sort of works because they're low armor, but once the tank gets upgraded, satchel charges for a long time are the only thing you can use against hostile tanks until you start to get near the end, more closer to the end of the war. You start to get some German equipment upgrades, so you can get the anti-tank infantry weapons at least. But there's a long period where if the infantry and the satchel charges are your only real defense against tanks, because you don't have really an armored, you don't really have a tank army at all. Some older tanks that are not that basically should be used more like armor APCs than tanks. You can't go toe to toe with Russian tanks. It just won't end well for you. You are outclassed totally there. So no, there shouldn't be much left anymore. Two real obstacles, maybe. Yeah, abandoned, routed, position, routed. One real obstacle. So if we move decisively now, it's over. So we might as well move. They just refuse to surrender. Okay, we're going after the big threats. Hopefully we can at least button it down with the infantry. Yeah. One more, then go in and try to assault. Yeah, that went pretty much perfectly. Now it should be vulnerable to other infantry assaults. That's sort of the problem if you use all your shots. If you save a couple, trying to bring infantry right next to a tank, it just means the infantry group is going to be totally annihilated. But it does really mean that you have to hold back those few shots, no matter how tempting it is to use them. I would say don't hold back if you're in a serious tank fight, unless you expect a lot of reinforcement, so you have to hold back so you can return fire at least a little bit. Finally. So now there is no serious tank threat against us. It's nice for time to time play a mission that doesn't go into the... We're not going to use the maximum number of turns available. Yeah. Surrender, 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 surrender. And that's pretty much the nail in the coffin. No, that's nail in the coffin. And we control all the flags. Most of the enemy units has been totally wiped out. At least I can't see anymore. So yeah. Unless they have some kind of miracle in their pack pockets, it's over. I'm pulling out with a few troops just in case something odd does happen. I think this is it. It was only a 10 turn mission anyway. Finnish 1208, Soviet 29. Yeah, not quick and easy. The biggest problem I see is basically carelessly just moving certain units first. That would be the easiest way to fail that. Because if all those tanks remain alive and manage to keep distance from the infantry, there's really very few ways you can take them out. If they have an infantry screen and then just stay there and keep firing, you're fudged. So at least in the first turn or two, it's probably just important to keep the anti-tank infantry alive so they can fire their full shots at the tanks. If you manage to do that, the Soviets pretty much crumble. They could have, even if their infantry fight would have gone a little bit better, they would have still crumbled after a few more turns. It's the tanks are the problem. You have very limited anti-tank capability as the Finnish army, at least at this point. It's not exactly amazing at the end of the war either. You're basically a shittier version of a German army most of the time, especially without all the good equipment. Infantry-wise, you're doing just fine. That's not the problem, but you don't have the armored backbone to really allow you to go toe to toe against any kind of major army. But this time, in this situation, decisive victory.